Hey, what's up? Welcome. You are listening to TC the G Radio, Season 3, Episode 6. I am TC the G, broadcasting directly from Tijuana, Baja California. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to have a great time. The title of today's episode: Autism. Okay, so I was inspired to speak on autism today because I have noticed out there in the streets some women who actually use this autism label for their kids in order to mask the fact that they're not doing their job correctly as a mother. So, for example, I myself, okay, I have met an actual autistic child. Okay, he couldn't speak, he would move his hands everywhere, like all that stuff. So he was really really delayed. But there's some kids that are just that, for example, that don't speak, right? They have like speech delay. There's some women, not all women, okay? There's some women out there that will rather automatically take them to the doctor and have them diagnosed as autistic. That way, I'm not sure if they do this, they might not do this all the way consciously, but on a deeper level, they're doing it in order for them not to take responsibility for their duties as a mother. Your child is probably not speaking because you're not taking the time to speak to your child, to have a conversation, to sing to them. When you don't do these things, well, the child doesn't have any practice around to start speaking, right? And of course, I'm referring to speaking at the proper milestone. There's also other mothers, which I have also, come across, who say they have a hard time teaching their child how to use how to potty train them because right away, avientan eso. Oh, he's autistic or she's autistic. It's like, what made you come up with that diagnosis, you yourself? Um, I know my husband, we had his son here with us, and his mom likes to label, or she took him to the doctor, and I guess they labeled him as autistic. And she was blaming that on not being able to potty train him. Yet, when she brought him over here to us, we were able to potty train him. But how? The by giving him the attention, right? By pushing through, pushing through and not giving up and not worrying about the mess, not being scared to batallarle. A lot of these women le tienen miedo a batallar. They want everything so easy. So instead of batallar, they would rather just label their child as autistic. That way they don't take no responsibility. It's all on the child. Pero en realidad, los niños no se enseñan solos. You have to teach them everything. And I mean everything. My son, he's 16 years old now, and sometimes I'm just like, wow, I have to teach him that. And for example, let's see. For example, one time we went to the store and he okay, yes, for example, so one time we went to the store and he was on in the way of the door. He was like in the way and people were gonna go by and he was kind of like just blocking the way. And I told him, hey, you need to move out of the way because people are gonna go by this hallway. So that it kind of like felt like, wow, we have to teach them everything, even to the point of how to move in the world, to move out of the way. There's people that are coming. It may seem like to us, maybe because we already are a little bit older, but there's some people out there that still don't know that, right? Those things like move out of the way, they'll stay in the way and things like that. But some of us that have like, common sense, we kind of understand, hey, we're in the way, we got to move. But the children, they may be, they may not be all the way aware yet. They're kind of like still like looking around, being a little distracted. So we had to, kind of like hit them with some reality and let them know, hey, you need to move out of the way. So even little things like that, like again, just moving out of the way, needs to be taught to them. And of course, after a while, if they're still doing it, then they're not paying attention, right? Like one time I'll tell you, you need to move. After that, you should already have caught on to that. And then next time, move out of the way and practice and keep doing it. And, until it becomes a habit that, you need to move out of the way when people are going through that hallway. So it literally means we have to teach them every single thing. And sí se le batalla, it is work. It does take time, patience, a lot of patience. And a lot of women out there are not willing, or they're lazy. They don't have the patience. And I'm not saying again every single one of them, but a lot of these women that try to use the autistic card, that's what they are. They're lazy. They don't want to do the work. They just want to have things handed to them. They're not really mothers in that sense, right? They don't know that instinct, that mother instinct. They don't have it, or they're worried about other things in the world instead of paying attention to their child. So I brought this up today, the autistic thing, also because last week I did an episode on Jenny 69. So her son has autism. So I was looking at, some videos from her when when they show her son and being autistic. But I found this one video where she's completely like disregarding her son, not giving him attention, the attention that he needs. And to me, in my opinion, that child is probably autistic because she doesn't give him enough attention, or she never gave him enough attention, or doesn't, ongoing, doesn't give him enough attention. And being, the, I don't know, what can I call her? Being the, not artist, she's not an artist. She's more like again, adult industry worker with music. Um, I'm pretty sure that takes up a lot of her time. So she probably doesn't pay too much attention to her son. And I believe that child is not going to heal until she actually takes the time to stop all of the extra stuff, the music, being famous, and puts all of her attention and all of her passion into her child. It's She kind of reminds me of Krishan Rock. They kind of like they just don't know how to. They're not there. They're not there for their children. They're just worried about themselves, and they think it's okay, or nobody around them tells them that that's not okay. Nobody slaps them around and brings them back to reality and lets them know. And I don't mean like really slap them around, okay? I just mean like with some reality, right? With some facts, with put their feet on the ground kind of thing. So let me go ahead and I'm going to play that I'm going to play that video, or yes, a little video that I found online so we can listen to it. So here it is.
To get the address to this place, I know it's in Santa Ana. God damn, dude, my nails are not kid-proof. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So just to give you guys some kind of like, I know you guys can't see, but what's happening right here is that she's in the car, and I'm not sure that if she's in there with her friend or her assistant, but they're in the car, and this friend or assistant is trying to put her child in the car seat, and she's struggling to put him in the car seat. And during this time, Jenny 69 is just in the front seat, in the driver's seat, just going through her phone, carelessly, not giving a care, not caring about what's going on in the back. And she's talking, and again, during this time, the assistant is trying to put the child in the car seat.
I'm like, Mom, help. I need to get the address to this place. I know it's in Santa Ana. God damn, dude, my nails are not kid-proof. Yeah, so I get this desesperada, dude. That's why yesterday I panicked, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just not gonna go nowhere. I'll just let my mom do it. Yeah, I'm like, Mom, help. had a random one in here. It was an Anastasia one, but I have my touch-up lip liner. Oh, here it is. Dude, he's like annoyed that I talked to him. Manny, say hey, bitch. He said hey, hey. We're proud of my son's accomplishments, even if they're cuss words. Gets attacked. That's why I'm gonna block the comments. My fucking style. It's gonna take time to go in. Like a long time, huh? Yeah, because I still have my... Did you start wearing makeup even when it was like... Yes. Okay. I said fuck you. Because I'm getting my makeup done tomorrow. Finally. By who? Brenda. Oh, she's so good. Yeah, I like how she does it. You know who else is getting good at doing makeup too? Josue. I want him to glam me. Speaking of, way better. You know what? Let me hit him up. Do you have his number? It's because since I don't have Instagram, like it's hard for me to DM people. Yeah, if not, I could ask Brenda first. Yeah, text right now.
During this time of this whole conversation, so the girl, the assistant or the friend, she came to the front. She sat down. She couldn't get Manny or Jenny 6'9" son into the car seat correctly. She just kind of buckled the top, but she didn't connect it to the bottom piece of the. She didn't connect it to the bottom piece of the car seat. So she just left it like that. She came to the front, and now Manny is in the back, trying and trying to put the car seat on, like buckle it correctly. He's just trying and trying, pobrecito, you know. But he's trying. And here we go.
We're just waiting for my mom. I wonder what I'm gonna buy. I hope I find like mirrored furniture, like cute little tables. Maybe I should put this down. Like, look at this van. I know. Don't look at me like that, guy. Okay, ladies, vamos a ir por tus abuelitos el Tuesday. We'll be back Wednesday. Oh, yeah? Yeah. So... Le voy a comprar un iPhone a mi madre para cuando quieran hacerle FaceTime. Yeah, she never texts me back. No, pues no sabe. No, le cayó el teléfono al baño. Recently? Sí, y apenas, 2 days ago, y apenas ayer lo sacó del arroz y lo prendió y que lo primero que miró fue tu mensaje que decía, ay abuelita, soy Jenny, que me habla. Hija, Jenny me habló, nunca me habla, y ahora que me habló no le contesté. Este pinche teléfono. I've been calling everybody. I've been rekindling relationships.
Now the grandma came in and she finally buckled him in. He was able to get one side of the buckle correctly done, the little boy. But now that the grandma is there, now she buckled him correctly, all the way.
I just said it in my head then. Manny just had the biggest tantrum right now. Like he was literally crying his lungs out in the furniture store. And we literally just had to like escort him out. It's okay, Papa. Manny, you want chocolate? And he went.
The worst thing you can do to a child with autism is give him sugar. Chocolate, just to reward him, just so he can calm down. That's another thing that I've noticed a lot of moms do. They think they're doing a good thing by just giving them things that, like sugary things, like candy, that they think is going to calm them down. But in reality, it's not really good for the children. You're giving him sugar, you're going to hype him up even more. You're like kind of like drugging them in a way. Here's some weed, here's some crack, calm down. Or here's some whatever, like no, you need to take the time to speak to your child, connect to your child. At this point, the boy probably doesn't want to be at the furniture store, especially if nobody's paying attention to him. He probably gets tired of that. I will get tired of that. If you're going to go out with your kids, it's supposed to be a family experience, not just your child is there and just just whatever, lingering. It's really my outing. My son is here, but he's not really like part of the outing. It's just me and my homegirl. That's not how it works when you have a family, when you have a child. You have to take the time, and if you're gonna take your kid, you better be ready to make it a family experience or a family outing.
And he went, yeah, you were crying like that in there. Eyes. He's pissed. Like every time we go somewhere and there's like an escalator, he just wants to be crying.
So they're trying to shove the chocolate in his mouth to calm him down, but he's just like, no, and crying.
Yeah? No, he's fine already. No, I'm not fine. Arm's dead. Chocolatito, tenga chocolatito. Ahora sí, Hey, quiet already, eh? No le hagan caso y solo se va a callar ahorita. He also does it too because he knows that you guys are here, and he's like, oh, save me. I'm like here with the manual right now, and I'm just telling him about how Manny threw a tantrum earlier, but it's literally not a surprise because every time he's near like an escalator, he gets like super hyped for some reason, I don't know. And he wants to sit down when he's like coming down from it, so it's like really dangerous. What did you say, babe, that you would do to him?
Nothing.
What were you gonna say? That you're gonna smack his ass?
Yes. Smack the shit out of him.
Yeah, I feel like if Emmanuel was there, he wouldn't have like thrown such a big tantrum.
Okay. So if the husband would have been there, he wouldn't have been throwing such a tantrum. The child is probably a little bit, scared of the dad, of her husband, but that's sad. It's sad that she doesn't have any control of her own child, right? Like you're supposed to be building that bond with your child, a strong enough bond that your child listens to you or tries to sees you as the parent, not just as somebody there. Because at that point, if he doesn't really listen to what she says, it means that he doesn't really see her as a parental figure, as an authority figure. And yeah, like we can say he has autism. He can't, recognize all that stuff. But the autistic kid that I met with his mom, he would listen to his mom. Even though it wasn't like, all the way, but she can get him to calm down. Um, I don't know all the autistic kids in the world, but again, it seems to me like she may have a lot to do with her child being autistic, just because of the lack of attention, the lack of just not being there present with your child. And also, this new technology that we have with the iPads and things like that, those are actually, a big, big reason why autism is on the rise. So I did find an article, and it's by, well, it's a couple of ones that I found. So let me just read the first one. It's like a little clip or like a little, I just took out a little information here, and it's by Autism Parenting Magazine. And it says a study on autism and screen time found that increased screen exposure is associated with more severe autism symptoms, particularly sensory issues, and can lead to issues in brain development. And it says if your child shows autism like symptoms and has a history of excessive screen exposure, it might be virtual autism. So a lot of the moms nowadays, they just give their phones, their tablets to their kids, laptops, just so they don't have to take care of their child. It's like The tablet is the parent, or that's the way they control the kids, right? Just by giving them a tablet. Here you go. Again, like crack, right? Here's some crack. Here's a little crack. Calm down. Here, like they're addicts, right? They're addicted to these things, to sugar, to being on the phone, on the computer, and it's not their fault. It's not kids' fault because their brain is not developed all the way yet. They don't know how this can affect them negatively in the long run. It's up to us, the adults, to be on the lookout, to be their guardian, to have their best interest at heart, our children's best interest at heart. Because if we don't do it, then who else will? Who? The government? Come on. They're giving us all these apps and things that we know are not good for our children, right? All that time on the phones, it's not natural. Natural is going outside, playing with your friends, going to the park, listening to your kids, having conversation with your kids, and all that good stuff. So let me read another one. Um, Let me see here. Okay. Let me just make this big because uh, let me see here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, here's another one by this one is by NCBI. So it says here Kushima found that screen time at 1 year of age is associated with a higher risk of developing a autism than at 3 years of age, which may be because at a younger age the brain is more prone to genetic variables that affect development later, rather than at 3 years of age, where the brain has already developed some milestones. Okay, this further supports our study findings where early exposure was associated with a greater risk of developing autism. Okay, so again, this all comes down to our parenting. Just the fact that autism is on the rise, why is it on the rise? What is the reason? And I think the fact that there is like a correlation between autism being on the rise and introducing or us introducing this technology to society, right? Because it seems like autism started rising as soon as we started introducing technology into society, or this kind of technology, phones and tablets and things like that. So it was never an issue before all this technology. It's starting to be, it's an issue of recent times, of times with technology, or I, I guess technology might not be the right word because there's technology that helps us, like the computer, we can go online and research. I mean, like giving them too much screen time. So there is um, another article that I found. It's from autismparentingmagazine.com, and it gives us a breakdown of how many hours are recommended a day, and it's based on years. So from age 3 to 5, the recommended screen time hours per day is half an hour to 1 hour a day. And that's ages 3 to 5. So that means before age 3, kids should not have any screen time. No computer, no TV, no tablet, no phone, none of that. Ages 5 to 7, the recommended screen time is 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. 7 years to 12 years, 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. So I guess that means from ages 5 to 12. It's from ages 5 to 12, the recommended screen time is 1 hour to 1 hour and a half. 12 years old, guys. 12 years old. That's already, what, seventh grade? They should still not be having so much screen time. Ages 12 to 15, 1.5 hours to 2. So that's already in the teenage years. They should not be on the phone, tablet, so much time. It's too much. Now 16 and more, the recommended screen time is 2 hours. Even for us as adults, it's 2 hours. I know a lot of us go to work and we're on the computer, so who knows what the future holds for us, right? Because this kind of environment has never been studied before because it's modern. It's a modern problem, right? From modern times. So we would have to wait and see where we end up at because we are going to be the ones pretty much the ones that are going to be kind of used as guinea pigs, you can say, because we are the first generation to have, or not the first generation maybe, but like the first, peoples to have computers and tablets and phones and all of that be part of our life, be integrated into our lives. And going back to the sugar thing, right? With autism, they were trying to give him chocolate. And I also watched another video where she's actually giving him like she's complaining that she's like, "Oh, we don't have a regular child, like a regular child, you can ask them, what do you want today for breakfast? Eggs or waffles or something." And she was like, "We actually had to figure out by him kind of like by him getting angry. If he doesn't want it, he'll throw it. If he wants it, he'll eat it." So in this scenario, she was giving him waffles for breakfast, and of course it has syrup and all that stuff, right? Sugar. And it sounds like they're letting him do whatever he wants, or they're not putting any rules for him to be, you shouldn't even have that as an option. He should eat his eggs, and if he doesn't, if he, si no tiene hambre, then he won't eat them, and that's it. Eventually, he's gonna get hungry and he's gonna have to eat, right? So here we have another little. I have another article that I pulled up. It says here, in regards to sugar and autism, it says excessive sugar consumption can contribute to changes in behavior among individuals with autism. According to Natural Autism Support, the impact of sugar on neurotransmitters in the body can potentially affect behavior. The neurotransmitters affected by sugar can influence mood and overall behavior. So they're over there blaming him. Oh, you're doing this. He's being too much. And then the dad, oh, I would have slapped him. But what about what you guys are doing that is not helping? Chocolate, autism, a lot of it has to do with gut health. So everything that you put in your body, and not just for autism, right? Overall, any disease, you can almost be sure that you can heal through the proper diet. There's an old saying or old wisdom from medicine that says, let thy medicine be thy food. And that's very much, the natural way to go. And even our modern medicines, they all stem from plants, from nature. We may see like in a pill form or things like that, but in reality, they all come from nature. They just do, maybe they do other things to it. Maybe they put it in a lab and they start doing, adding chemicals and things like that. But the base, the root of medicine has always been nature, herbs, plants, food. Here's another little article. This one comes from Leaf Wing Center. It says high amounts of sugar in a diet are not good for anyone, but especially children with autism. It is common for children with autism to show signs of hyperactivity, so limiting, I'm sorry, signs of it is common for children with autism to show signs of hyperactivity, so limiting sugar can help to balance this out. Also, limiting sugar can help to improve concentration and decrease impulsiveness. So, I'm not saying this to bash her, right? I mean, we all make mistakes as parents. We definitely do. But there just seems to be a hint of her not really caring, not really caring to pay attention to her son, to do the research, or give him attention. It's like está en otro mundo, trying to do her famous thing, which is, everybody has the right to do what they want. But again, when we have children, we cannot let them down. We need to be responsible for our children and do our best. Maybe this is her best, but I mean, damn, her best sucks, really. And the fact that she's not that young, she's a little bit older and she has money, resources to actually get more informed, to have better ways to help her son overcome this. But it doesn't seem like she's really too worried about that, or you know, to the way it looks through these videos. I don't know, we don't know the complete story, but this is not looking too good if she's just leaving her child in the back seat. I would have been the one to, oh, you can't do it? Oh, let me help you. But instead, she's like, oh, mom, where's mom? Like, totally brat, totally like, total brat, total like, how do you call that? Ch- just like baby, like, yeah, just brat, just a brat, big time brat. And it sucks because the child is the one that gets suffers. And of course, there's worse scenarios for kids. There's way worse scenarios, right? But the fact of the matter is here that we need to take responsibility for the role that we play in our children's development, in our children's education. We cannot blame everything on autism, blame it on the government, blame it on this. Everything begins at home. Education, health, everything begins at home. So we need to be aware of that and make sure that we are actually doing our best to be responsible. Just be responsible. Thank you so much for tuning in to TC the G Radio. I hope you enjoyed this episode. What are your thoughts on autism? Let me know. Comment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay in the loop. Remember to tune in to TC the G Radio Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, connect with me on social media to get more of me and my music. My social media and contact information are on the video's description. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and for allowing me to share this time with you. Take care. Saludos.